So, the Harry Potter HBO series, rumors were flying around like freaking, golden snitches and people things like that about the show having a narrator, which people were like, "Oh my god, that takes away the whole point." But does it? I mean, it would be kind of goofy depending on how they want to do it. A narrator could work. Immediately off the top of my head, I think of series of unfortunate events on Netflix, where it's telling the story of the Baudelaires, but then you have Patrick Wahlberg coming in. My name is Lemony Snicket, and I'm here to tell the tale of the Baudelaire orphans. He starts the episode, like each episode it seems like he'll give a little breakdown or a little monologue, and then sometimes during the episode you'll have like a freeze frame moment, and you'll see him step out and he'll start talking. But it works the way his like deadpan style, his voice, his personality, what he's contributing to that scene, it works. Especially because it's like a freeze frame. It's like a Zach moment, like timeout, that kind of moment. But it works. In the movie series of unfortunate events, it kind of did the same thing with, who was it, Jude Law? It was Jude Law, right? But the same thing. I think one of the moments was right there when with they're on the train track, or no, was it not the train track? It was with Uncle Monty with the incredibly deadly Viper when boom, but then he's like, oh sorry, his thing gets jammed, and it cuts to him trying to fix his typewriter. So stuff like that, but it can work. Um, but let's see what it says. It says it's confirmed that it's not. HBO has officially confirmed that its upcoming adaptation of Harry Potter novels will not include a narrator, despite recent speculation to the contrary. Sources close to the production claim that no narrator role is planned and no Harry Potter narrator has been cast. If they did get one for you know, the show, I wanted it to be the dude who did it for the games. Yeah, that guy. Also, John Lithgow, he looks just like Richard Harris as Dumbledore. That's insane. This right here makes me think that he will be a really good Dumbledore, because if you think of hang on, let me bring up Richard Harris as Dumbledore so to get a, you know, a comparison. All right, the late great Richard Harris. Richard Harris, John Lithgow. Like, it looks exactly like the same person, except right here he's got his hair out a little more while his looks like it's tied up. But other than that, the face, it looks exactly the same. That looks amazing. Now, whether or not he can pull off the Dumbledore, and that was one thing with Richard Harris's Dumbledore. If you notice later in the films, he becomes more aggressive, more assertive, having to do more scenes with, physical work. And he was already old enough to where I don't know. I would have really loved to see how Richard Harris's Dumbledore would have panned out. But Michael Gambon did amazing as Dumbledore. But look at that. I mean, it looks really, really good. At least for Dumbledore. I'm not saying the whole thing. Nick Frost as Hagrid looks a little goofy, but the upcoming series, we already know that filming has reportedly commenced in the United Kingdom. Prior to this update, many observers assumed a narrator might serve as a bridge between the book's prose style and a visual medium. The confirmation that there won't be one addresses a significant piece of speculation ahead of the show's launch in 2027. Rumors began after the blog Redanian Intelligence reported that the British actor Tom Turner had updated his CV to include Harry Potter narrator at the Wizarding World. Diagonally. What did he say, dear? Diagonally. I thought he did. I love that moment. It's like, bitch, his fucking Ron's mom, Mrs. Weasley, just told you to speak very clearly, and then you go ahead and just say, diagonally. You're glad you you should be happy you didn't end up in a fucking volcano. What did he say, dear? Diagonally. Yeah, like this. Like, there's Hagrid. I mean, it still looks like Nick Frost, which is, I mean, I could be Hagrid. Hello, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. That post spread quickly through fan forums and entertainment sites, sparking debate about whether the series might add a narrator to guide the story. Like I said, a narrator could work if done correctly. Series of unfortunate events, the TV, like the Netflix series, did it really, really well. It wasn't really ham-fisted. He popped up when it was necessary. You know, Lemony Snicket, the character of Lemony Snicket, and it worked. And maybe because of Patrick Warburton's sort of personality, you know, like in the very first episode when they're all on Briny Beach and he's kind of introducing the children, it works, you know, and he's kind of like, you know, Violet Baudelaire, the oldest of them, she's inventing and about tying her hair back when she has inspiration and this and that. It works, and it was a great scene. Um, so it can work if done correctly. Um, Given the franchise's history, adding a narrator would mark a major stylistic change. Some observers noted that such a role could shift the tone by adding commentary or summaries, changing how the story unfolds. HBO later clarified that the series has no narrator and that writing and production continue without any voiceover role. By officially stating that there won't be a narrator in Harry Potter, HBO is signaling that the new adaptation intends to rely on direct storytelling through characters and scenes rather than using an external voiceover device, which, good. I mean, it's show, not tell, but there's sometimes nothing wrong with the telling a little. This may align with a desire for more immersive, character-driven drama rather than a storybook framing. The series was ordered as a faithful, long-form adaptation of Harry Potter, and each book planned as one season, so about 7 seasons. J.K. Rowling serves as executive producer. Production began in summer 2025 at Warner Brothers Studios in Livingston, UK. The young leads are Dominic McLaughlin as Harry Potter, Arabella Stanton as Hermione, and Alistair Stout as Ron. Several adult Hogwarts staff roles are confirmed. John Lithgow as Dumbledore, Johnny McTeer as Minerva McGonagall. The fact that this dude is still playing fucking Snape. Nick Frost, Ruby as Hagrid. Keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. See? I could be Hagrid. I'm tall. I'm 6'4". You know, so compared to these kids, I look like a fucking giant. So, I mean, I could be Hagrid. But I'm not British or Irish or Scottish or anything else that they require, you know? HBO confirmed that the Harry Potter television series will not include a narrator. Rumors that Tom Turner has been cast as a narrator are false. They're just ignorant, They're ignorant, so ignorant. They're just lying, this misinformation. Turner is not involved. Just released this trash so we can all laugh at how woke and retarded it is. We will laugh at all the at the retards who pretend it's good, just like they do with the Fallout TV show and One Piece live action. I mean, I was skeptical about the One Piece live action. I watched it; it was okay. I mean, I talked about in a video. It was okay. It wasn't the best, but I'm not a One Piece fan. You know, it just kind of seems like it's just one of those series that just has dragged on for far too long. I mean, you have like Naruto with all the fillers and shit that that show has and the manga has. You know, the show itself wrapped up after a certain amount of time, and yet with One Piece, we're still fucking going. Will Luffy ever find the One Piece? No, because it's not about finding the One Piece. It's about the friends you make along the way. Um, but same thing with the Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, I love Yu Yu Hakusho. It is my favorite anime of all time. I mean, it's definitely for me one of the big three, right up there with like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon. As for what it's brought to anime, and I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho is the perfect anime. The characters are great. Even the side characters, you remember them because of how well they're written. It's only like 112, 13 episodes long. There's no filler. The end of each arc directly leads to the next one. Great character development, amazing music, amazing art. The fights are really well choreographed. The abilities of it's like Dragon of the Darkness Flame just sticks out in everyone's mind because of how fucking badass it looks. The English dub is amazing. It's just all around the perfect anime. And if anyone wants to get into anime, that's the show to watch. But I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, I had a cat outside. I named Keiko, like from Yu Yu Hakusho, Keiko. Um, right now, I was playing World of Warcraft, and I made a character made of Volpera named Karama, just so I could get one of those Onyx dragons, so I could name it Hiei. As a hunter, just so I could have a dragon named Hiei. A black dragon named Hiei. I love the show, and I have for what, since I first watched it on fucking Adult Swim or Toonami. Um, but the live action was interesting. Very visually nice, especially like Spirit World. It looked very, very pretty. Um, I mean, the problem I had with that series was that they introduced Toguro. Like, Toguro was right there basically the whole time, but we didn't get the Dark Tournament. They fought Team Toguro basically in a warehouse. That's like that's not how it's like. Are we gonna get introduced to Chu and Jin and Rinku and or was that it? Because Team Toguro is supposed to be during the Dark Tournament, and they're just like, oh no, we're gonna fight him in a warehouse. Also, the English voice for Elder Toguro in the adaptation was Keith Silverstein. Otherwise, most people know him as Big Dong Zhang, the CEO of GEO, Dong Li, Zhang Li from Genshin Impact. I was like, is that Big Dong Zhang? the CEO of Geo Daddy. But as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, oh my god, it's Keith. But anyway. Ozmath, this wine tastes the same as I remember, but where are those who share the memory? But Harry Potter, again, if narration was done right, it could work. Like not even have an actual narrator, but maybe have the kids narrate. Harry narrating or whatever, that could work. But like a narrator, again, if it was done right, it could work. Lemony Snicket, in Series of Unfortunate Events for Netflix, it's the first thing I go to because it works well. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it because it's extremely good. Daniel Handler, who wrote the books, he's Lemony Snicket. He also appears in the show. Um, but he did extremely well taking his stories and putting them into long form entertainment. Um, but people will just have to wait. I mean, I think a lot of people aren't going to watch it mainly because of all of how badly they're ruining it already with cast choices and this and that. But at least we know Dumbledore will look good. John Lithgow. Um, but yeah, let me know what you think about a narrator for Harry Potter. Like you said, if there was going to be a narrator, either the kids or get the dude who did it for the fucking games. Like Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets. If Harry Potter goes back to Hogwarts, he will be in mortal danger. Anyway. That's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.